Okay, so it's time for part 3 of surviving a narcissistic, toxic bloodline or whatever I called it. I don't remember, y'all. It's been a long day. I'm very tired. Okay, so where I left off on part 2 or 2.5 is talking about November the 7th, 2024. Now, keep in mind, I went no contact December 2023. So, November 7th, 2024, stuff started happening, like notable things start happening. Prior to November 2024, I had not reached out to my mom or Demetrius or any of those people, or really none of them. But like I said, I was still in communication with Lil G every day. I'm hearing about how she's taking care of my grandma, which is her mom, and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm also I'm letting her vent about everything because she is doing it alone. So even though I'm no contact with these people, I'm still allowing kind of their energy into my space, even though I didn't have to do anything directly with these people. I'm just letting her vent and I'm giving her my opinions and my thoughts and, trying to help where I could without being in contact with them, right? And so eventually, somebody that uh I was, or I'm still very close to, somebody that has been knowing me forever was like, if you really got Lil G back, you need to really have her back. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. So even though I was no contact, I'm like, Lil G, whatever you need, I got you. It doesn't matter no more. Like, I don't want them to feel like you are by yourself because you're not by yourself, right? Okay, so November 7th, 2024, Rolita got my granny to sign power of attorney paperwork. Now, mind you, things have been happening before this, but this is like meat and potatoes kind of stuff. Um, then November 8th is when I really decided to take a more active role in helping Lil G. November 9th, the doctors told Lil G that Miss G had had another stroke 2 weeks prior to that date, according to MRI that she had. Mind you, remember in December 2023, she had a stroke then. So this is another stroke. So November 26th of 2024, I decided to unblock Demetrius and basically give her shit because I'm talking to Lil G and Lil G's telling me that Demetrius hit her up and was telling her to apologize to Rolita. Now, mind you, during this time, my granny's in the nursing home, and now that Rolita finally got my granny to sign this paper or whatever, she wants all of her identification, her pay card from Social Security, all this kind of stuff. And Lil G had been in charge of all those things. And so Rolita was hitting her up and telling her, you need to give me mom stuff or whatever. And Lil G's like, no. Lil G was at home watching a movie or whatever, and it was triggering what was going on in the movie. It was basically, child SA going on. And then Rolita hounding her about their mom's identification. She was just like, leave me alone, you rapist or whatever. And Lil G never really likes to speak out about what happened to her as a child, and she has never like confronted Rolita in any regard to it, but she was really triggered in that moment, and she told her leave her alone or whatever. It was the whole thing. And Rolita got mad at her and was going off on her and talking about she was gonna have the last laugh and all of this. And then of course then she had a conversation with Demetrius. So Demetrius reached out again, like the flying monkey that she is, to Lil G, telling her she needs to apologize to Rolita and just give her what she asking for. And here's my thing. Here's why I decided to unblock Demetrius, because you don't you who are you to tell a victim to apologize to somebody that had a hand in something so traumatic that happened to them. I mean, you're nobody to do that. So let me go to the text message. So I said, this was Tuesday, November 26th. At 7:43 p.m., I text her and I said, since you feel like it's your duty to speak on behalf of those who continue to do wrong, I may as well speak my piece as well. I said, you keep taking the side of these people and all the while pretending to not take a side. But when you repeatedly or disregard what someone went through and is still going through, you're definitely choosing a side. There should never have been a time that you tell a survivor of sexual or any kind of abuse to apologize to any person that had a hand in it. You can't speak for either party because it didn't happen to you, and you weren't the one we told as children or first as adults. You may not even be able to show true empathy. However, you should just stay in your lane. You play both sides of the fence and act like you really care, but it's become even more clear to me that you don't. And in regards to Miss G, which is my granny, you know for a fact that she should not leave that facility with the folks that are trying to take her out because they were actively trying to get her out of the nursing home. Mind you, they were not going to visit her for months while she was in there, but then all of a sudden, they popping up on the scene. I said, and you said yourself that you didn't think she should or want her to leave. You may not even been privy to everything that went on with Mama, which is Georgia, which is my great-great-grandmother. But you know for a fact there was some snake-ass dirty shit that went down and led to her death. It's all repeating. And I could see it last year in December, which is why I decided to block Jackie and Letha, which is my mom and my aunt, when they lied to the hospital staff to keep Lil G away from her. During the time she wasn't allowed to see her mom, she had another stroke and her condition worsened. If Lil G wasn't as vigilant and knowledgeable with her mom's medical history, I'm sure she'd be gone already. Miss G had 2 of her sorry-ass sons living with her, and they were absolutely not taking care of her. Hell, Lucius didn't even tell Lil G that she had gone to the hospital that first time till Jackie and Letha showed up to put him out. You know from your own experience that those 2 don't do things unless it benefits them in some way. Letha nor Jackie will care for Miss G the way she needs, nor do they know how or what's even going on with her medically. And on the rare occasions Letha visits, the topic is Lil G. And I know this because there was a camera in the room. It was Lil G's camera that she put there for her mom's protection and also for her protection when she would go take care of her and her mom would act like she was doing something, acting crazy every time she saw her. And I also had the login information to the camera as well. And I would be on the phone with Lil G also, even before I got the login information to the camera. So I'm not speaking on hearsay. I said she should be focused on her mom and what she needs. She doesn't check to see if she needs changing, attempt to bathe her or anything. Just agitates her and then leaves as quickly as she came. We aren't children anymore and Lil G isn't alone. If they manage to move Miss G, they will have to do it on their own accord. Lil G isn't obligated to help them do anything, especially when it most likely will lead to destruction. And so she didn't say anything back until the next morning at 6:51 a.m. So I'm going to stop this video and then go to part 4 because I'm almost out of time.